Before we jump into the video, don't forget to follow the Football Bank on Instagram and have notifications for stories turned on to get live tips straight to your phone. It's very important to have notifications turned on because I do post in-play bets to the story and you want to make sure that you can jump on those at the right time. Follow the Football Bank on Instagram. So we've looked at which leagues you should be betting on for both teams to score and the factors that you should be looking at pre-game in your analysis. The third thing we're going to look at is what you should be looking for when actually watching the games. So for most of the leagues that I highlighted as good for both teams to score betting, on most betting websites you can actually watch the games live. So if you have the opportunity to do that, I would absolutely urge you to do that. And the things we are looking for, ideally from both teams, but if not from one of the teams, is you want to see a high defensive line and a high press. So high press being that the attackers are pushing up onto the defenders and even the goalkeeper. The midfielders are also joining the press and trying to win the ball high up the field. Why are we looking for that? Well, first, if a team is playing with a high defensive line, that means there's a lot of space behind the defensive line for a team to play through balls into and create goal scoring opportunities. The other, if there is a high press, and usually the high defensive line and high press go hand in hand together. If a team has a high defensive line, it's because they're usually pressing high up the pitch. With the high press, the idea, and it's kind of the philosophy of Klopp and Guardiola, the idea is to win the ball back high up the field when the other team is out of position, they're not in defensive shape, so that you can more easily create goal scoring opportunities. And everything comes back to this idea of creating goal scoring opportunities when we're looking at both teams to score. So to convey this, I'm going to show you a few screenshots or to show you how high defensive line and high press can lead to turnovers and goal scoring opportunities. So first up, we have a game between Schalke and Bochum in the German Bundesliga. And we can't show video, unfortunately. This video will get taken down by YouTube. So I'm going to show you some stills and just explain the progression of play. So here on the screen, you'll see we've got Schalke in blue and Bochum in white. And I think Bochum have just won the ball in the middle of the field. You can see it coming to the player there in the orange boots. As it comes to the player in the orange boots, he passes it to the most upfront player for Bochum, and he's just laid it off to this midfielder who's supporting the attack. And note here, you've got three Schalke defenders. Look how high up the pitch they are. Look at all the space behind them, between them and the goal. And you see the striker here, he's making that run in behind the Schalke defense. The through ball comes in, the striker runs onto it here and manages to get a shot off on target. The goalkeeper kind of parries it away, isn't able to catch it, and you see the other striker here running in for Bochum, and he gets another shot off on shot. I think that one went just wide, but it's the idea that if a team is playing a high line, they are creating space behind them, which a team can attack into. So the first thing is, if you see a team playing with a high defensive line, it's usually a good indicator for both teams to score, taking into account your pre-match analysis as well. Another game I want to look at, and I appreciate here it's between two big teams in the Serie A. We've got Napoli and Juventus, and this is looking at the concept of the high press. So here you've got Juventus, who are taking a throw-in in their own half. Number 20 here taking the throw and passing it to the right centre-back. As the right centre-back receives the ball, the striker here for Napoli is initiating the press and immediately goes down to press the defender. The striker has pressed the defender has passed the ball back to the goalkeeper, and you can see here the striker is now chasing down the goalkeeper to force an error and a turnover. The goalkeeper has the ball at his feet. The striker is right on his tail. goalkeeper has to get rid of it quickly and passes it to the left centre-back for Juventus. The left centre-back for Juventus, I think number 3 there, is about to receive the ball, but already you can see just to the right of a Napoli player is about to close him down and try and force the turnover. So you'll see in the next slide, he tries to slide in and win the ball there. The defender has to get rid of the ball quickly, and it results in an inaccurate pass to the left back who isn't able to get to the ball, and it goes out for a Napoli throw-in. So that's the idea of how, if you see a high press, it can result in turnovers, which allows the other team to kind of maintain pressure and continue with their attacking threat. Other in-game indicators that I would like to see, it'd be good to see some early shots, even if it's shots on target or off target. We're talking about creating goal scoring opportunities. So if in the first 15 minutes there are shots going off at either end, then it's a good indicator to see. Sometimes you can't rely, you can't rely on it, but there just won't be enough shots in the first 15 minutes to make a call. So the next best indicator I would look for is passes in the final third. So on the Who Scored website, again, there is the in-game match center. So as the game's being played, which tracks minute by minute loads of key statistics like touches and passes. So 2 things I would like to look for actually are passes in the final third and touches by the strikers of both teams. For example, if the strikers of both teams are only touching the ball at the halfway line, then the strikers are the guys mostly who scored the goals. If they're touching the ball, only getting touches on the ball on the halfway line in the first 15 minutes, then they're not really going to, as taking the first 15 minutes as an indicator, they're not really creating many goal scoring chances. Whereas if their strikers are touching the ball in the opposition box or just outside the opposition box, then that's a much better indicator. And the idea about having passes in the final third by both teams, usually the number I look for is above 20 for both the home and away team. It means that the game is not stuck in midfield. It's not a midfield battle. The home team is attacking, then the away team is attacking, and as that back and forth, the transition play, a lot of goals are mostly scored in transition. Another good indicator for both teams to score. Thanks for watching the third part of this Both Teams to Score mini-series. Stay tuned for the last video where we will be looking at how to manage the odds, what is the correct entry point for this market, and why I think both teams to score using this strategy is a profitable strategy in the long run.